Live from Break Free Worldwide headquarters in Houston, Texas. With your host, Jeremy. And B-Boy Moy. And joining us tonight,
yo, what up world? Welcome to episode number 17 of Break Free Worldwide Podcast. My name is Jeremy.
What's up, everybody? Moy.
How you feeling today, Moy?
I'm feeling good, man. I mean,
we'll have a good episode tonight.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Lots of laughs.
Yeah, we have a pretty fresh Mexican in the building.
A fresh man's a good way to describe him. So he's a stand-up comedian. He's a guy who, man, a lot of people, this is a little known fact, but he was actually a break-free parent at one time.
That's right.
Yep. And
had his daughter Mickey in the program,
and he's been
killing the game.
Yeah, and he himself has been true to the hip-hop culture for a long time, man. He's a Houston figurehead. One of the funniest men in Texas, in my opinion. Everyone make some noise for Chingo Bling. Give it up. That's you.
Come on, bro.
Backflip. I didn't know. How y'all doing?
You didn't do the choreographed backflip on stage, bro.
I know. I'm a little rusty with my moves because not only am I a break-free parent, but I'm damn near am a student.
That's right.
That's true.
Always a student.
Yeah, for sure.
I think as much time as you brought Mickey here, I'm sure you probably picked up a move or two here and there.
We would hope so.
And I'm sure she was showing you some stuff at home, and you had to like.
I don't know. Mickey's pretty fresh, bro.
Yeah, we battled a few times in the hallway, like in the kitchen. We didn't have to bust out linoleum because I already had it in there.
Of course.
But
you laid it out yourself and everything.
I learned though, never outshine the master. So I let her.
That's what's up.
How you feeling, Chingo? Good to see you, bro.
Great, man. It's good. First of all, man, kudos to you guys, man. We all family men up here, man.
Man.
Besides that, I respect y'all's art and y'all's expression, man. But you guys, we're on the same vibe, man. Family's number one priority. We all married up here, right?
That's right.
This is damn near like a sitcom.
So this is no,
pretty
you can't
close.
touch none of this right here. This is zone. Don't come close.
There's
There's
there's Scud missiles aiming at Cupid.
Marty Swole.
30 months pregnant.
Shout out to my wife / security.
Yo, man, but we're excited to have you on the show, man. It's been a long time coming, but you've been on the road nonstop, so it's hard to get you here. So now to have you available and ready to chat. So, man, tell us why Chingo Bling. I think that's the number one thing I want to know is why Chingo Bling. Where does Chingo Bling come from?
Man, I was a college student doing college radio, and I didn't have a job. I was hanging out in studios. I was trying to really figure out how I was going to make my degree provide, and people weren't hiring me. So I just got creative. I was in studios a lot, and I was just doing skits on like local San Antonio artists on their albums and mixtapes, and I would do a lot of voices and characters ever since cutting up on the school bus, and I was like, okay, when I do that, that's going to be Chingo Bling. And they laughed. They're like, whoa, say that. What is that? And like, Chingo Bling. They're like, oh, damn, whatever that is, that already sounds funny.
Yeah.
So, still working at the craft to this day, and, transitioning into stand-up, so it's a different form.
Yeah, man, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so I went from like comedic rap to I did like I used the internet a lot. The internet helped me throughout my career.
For sure.
Yeah, way back in the LimeWire days.
Yeah, well, I think though, like when you first started rolling the game,
I was finessing. I was finding my what I could bring, what I could say that hadn't been said, and just finding my niche and my lane. And I always found that making people laugh and doing something outside the box, that's always just funner to me.
No,
I'm not a serious. I got that other side of me where I'm just like being, just regular and I guess I wouldn't say shy, but being serious just ain't really my thing unless I'm just, chilling.
Yeah, I'm interested in the evolution from what you was doing in the beginning to stand-up comedy. Like, when was the first year you did stand-up comedy? When was the first time you stepped on stage?
I always wanted to do it, but it was probably like 7 years ago. I tried hosting a thing, and it was so scary and terrifying, and I did horribly, and I was like, oh my God. So I ran away from it for like 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And even while I was living in LA, I should have dove in, but I was more focused on acting at the time.
Yeah.
But technically, I'm gonna make 5 years.
I've noticed is that some comedians they struggle with like transitioning, whether it's from like TV acting to on stage, or like just let's just say being an internet personality. I mean, how is that for you? Do you feel like there's any struggles in between, or do you feel pretty comfortable in all of them?
Well, the way I look at what I do, my craft, it's comedic writing, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes when people, I'm not saying all internet people like Viners, I'm not saying they're all like this, but sometimes when you're just kind of like popping on social media, but you don't have that craft behind it, it's kind of like comparing a b-boy to somebody who just kind of made up a little dance on Instagram. It's like
gotcha.
It's popping on Instagram. Yeah, you got a couple moves,
no substance,
but
no substance.
yeah, there's a whole nother level to the expression.
Yeah.
You know?
It makes sense, man. I feel like you definitely have a strong foundation behind you, because I think that the transition from knowing you, from going from comedic rap to the stand-up world, it seemed pretty like just flawless. Like you just killed it. And I know that you probably had some obstacles and some struggles, but from what I see, and I think that you displayed a great sense of professionalism because you didn't let it show. And I think that a lot of people, seamless transition, because a lot of people, you know, it becomes very visible. It becomes very transparent, where it's just like, ugh, it's a struggle. But I hadn't seen that from you, man. And since, you know, I didn't even know it's been 5 years since you've been doing stand-up,
it's flown by. Well, it's going to be 5 years in August, so I'm at 4.5. But I keep track of it because, you know, when I finally dove in, it was like an anniversary. It was such, I already knew this is gonna be such an important marker. You know what I mean? Like, this is the anniversary. I'm not going. This is my comedy birthday. And like, I'm true to the game. You know, so I love it, man.
What year was your Netflix special? Was it last year?
That was I think it's 2 years ago.
Oh, it's 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
2017.
So pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken, and I was like super new when we filmed it. So. I was probably like 1.5 years in when we shot it, and then when it finally came out, I was about 2.5 years in. So I had already improved from the stuff we shot. Yeah. But the feedback is great, man. I just came back from San Antonio, and dude, like, I actually went to church with my buddy. And
you
like,
went to church?
Yeah, I know, right? Here comes the holy water sizzling on me jokes. No, but my boy asked me too. He's like, man, when's the last time you been up here? I was like, man, it's been a minute. But there was a family behind us. You know when you do the peace be with you in Catholic church, peace be with you. And I'm shaking their hands, and they got this look on their face. And when we walk out, I grab a little holy water, let it sizzle. And the little girl, she was 8 years old. She's like, Mr. Bling, Mr. Bling. She's like,
Mr. Bling.
She's like, I saw your Netflix thing, and I was like, no, you're way too young to be watching that stuff. And her parents were like, we're big fans, but
at church.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, at church, in the lobby. And I'm like, maybe we should go outside. Yeah.
Wow, man.
But yeah, man, the love is real, and I feel like I've been around long enough to where I'm starting to be like an old classic car. I'm like the '90 Impala or something, like something where it's like it's just starting to, I don't know. It's like Chingo 2.0. It's like I'm hard to get rid of.
It's interesting that you said when you first did your hosting gig like 7 years back that you said that you bombed it, like you didn't. You don't feel like, because I view stand-up comedy as a true art form, and I view it as something that's like you getting on stage and you like. You letting everything go, and it's just you and your words.
First of all,
so to be able to get the interest of a crowd, thousands of people with just you and your words. That's crazy, bro.
Moy just did 5 minutes of hot fire right now. Like Moy just told like 2-3 stories about his son.
He was doing jokes
that would kill
80%
of the open micers in the city.
You about to take it low key?
I'm about to buy it.
Let me open up.
I'm about to buy it off of him. I'm about to cut him a check. I'm about to cut him a check. Like, hey, I'm just gonna swap out the name.
So come bring the check.
Instead of it being Isaiah, I'm just gonna change the name to.
But I think why you so good at it, why you successful at it, because you approach it like something that's just lighthearted and organic. You know what I'm saying? It's like with any art form, you're not trying to like fake it to make it or anything. You approaching it and you just telling the truth, and you telling who you are.
Well, the truth, honesty is a big thing, and one thing that I'm learning, man, is that sometimes in stand-up, it's not even always about the laugh. Sometimes you just want to have an emotional moment. Like, sometimes you just break the fourth wall, and now you're just connecting.
That's
and
real.
The story, I'm looking at some of my jokes, man, because I'm learning there's levels to it.
Yeah.
So I'm learning that sometimes in a joke, if it's like a story about your child, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be elements to it where I'm like, hey, I want to be a good parent, and I told him, hey man, don't lie to me, son.
Right.
I know you didn't brush your teeth.
Yeah.
It could still be funny, but there's some emotion in there.
No, for sure.
There's some
It's
conflict.
real. It's real.
Exactly.
It's a real, honest thing that happened.
And then when people feel it, they call it pathos or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like when
Yeah.
people feel it, bro. And I know y'all have done that with moving.
Yeah, of course.
And when you make people feel something, bro,
Yeah.
ooh, it's a wrap.
I'll be there front row when you open up.
Well, you
bro.
felt something else like 2 weeks ago. How'd that 25-foot fall feel? Like,
Nah, this ain't about me, bro. Have you ever fell
Oh, my
almost to
bad.
your death before?
Honestly, man, I'm not very handy, and I've had some close calls. You know, I once had to paint a fence, and nothing dangerous, but that's why I don't do stuff like what you were doing.
yeah.
really-
He
What
had
happened with the
no
fence?
business being up there anyway.
No, wait.
so-
What happened with it? How'd you almost get killed by
I
a fence?
didn't, but I keep it safe, so I don't go up 25 feet. You know, I don't do ladders. If it looks like
Nah,
it
you
might be
thought-
electrical,
I've seen a photo shoot.
That's
of
me.
You.
I'm
I've
not
seen
handy at all.
Some
I
photo
call
shoots of
Josh.
you where you up
the little
high,
bitty
bro.
fence.
You up high or
a
something.
ladder.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
ladder.
Man.
Dude, what were you doing?
I was doing a photo shoot, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, I stepped on a skylight. Similar.
Wait,
to
wait,
the
wait.
one-
But you didn't just step on the skylight. You were like, let me see if the skylight will hold me so I could take a dope
I
photo.
was doing it for the gram. You know what I'm
my
saying?
God.
Trying to get in my pictures.
Yeah.
And it was like an old plastic, like withered in the sun skylight. And as soon as I put my full weight on it,
So you were like outdoors
But
above.
the
Yeah, it's-
170, 175 pounds that you weighed just didn't matter at all. It was
No.
just an old skylight.
yeah, nah, probably if it was a strong gust of wind, it probably would have broke too. Yeah, but I'm here, baby.
Dude, man.
That's it, you're here, man.
I'm telling you, I told him off the mic, I was like, dude, you might be one of the X-Men. Because one minute I'm like, hey, we need to go see Jeremy. He's in a hospital. And see where he's at. Go update. Then he's out. He's
Yeah.
out winning competitions and dancing.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
won a competition that weekend.
Yeah, the next week. I had to wear a ski
Tripping.
mask though to protect my head, but it was all good.
But like recovery-wise, what was the process?
The extent of the injury, the biggest thing was this cut on my head. So I had to get 7 staples in my head, and I fell. I absorbed the impact on my right side.
Because
right?
you know how to fall?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were thinking while you were falling?
Nah, not from that high up. Hell no.
Yeah, see my face.
We need to zoom in on Moy's face.
Yeah, but I absorbed the impact here, so my shoulder was giving me some trouble, and it still is, but I'm good.
Did it knock your wind out?
It knocked me out. I was unconscious.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Knocked them back into some sense. That's what it
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
One time I was riding a bike. I borrowed my friend's bike, and I was going super fast, like as fast as I could. I think it was downhill because this is like it was in New Jersey, and I'm on the bike. I'm going fast, and I'm looking in slow motion. I don't know if you had this slow motion moment.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
looking at that brake right here on this side with the little wire, and I see it slowly getting loose, and it starts to kind of like clank. And I'm like, this can't be good. Maybe I should slow down. It wedges itself, like it pins itself in the front
Damn.
wheel, creating an instant brake. Catapults me, slams me into the concrete. I can't breathe. Bike, okay, I'm gonna embellish a little bit. Bike flies up in the air.
You're huffy. You're mongoose.
The huffy
Layout.
I just missed the handlebars, but it knocked my wind out so bad. I thought that was it. I was like,
How old was you?
man, I was like in high school, so I was probably like 16.
You said New Jersey? You grew up
Yeah.
in New Jersey?
No, I went to high school in New Jersey.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
That's
I did
crazy.
4 years at a prep school because you know I'm smart and I'm from the hood and I got a scholarship, and I got to see.
Chosen one.
Dude, the roughest thing, bro, is I had to see my family drive away in a rental car back to the airport, and it was like, damn, this is for real. I don't know, man. I'm not saying it's child abuse, but it was
pretty close.
it was
How old were you?
traumatizing.
Pretty close.
I was like 13 years old.
I thought you were
and,
gonna say like 30.
Nah, I was 13 years old, and when you're like graduating 8th grade,
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and that
Going
was
to high
it.
school.
I had gotten to the school. It's a long story. I had gotten to the school, and they gave me a full ride. It was like super preppy. Like they had a golf course, golf team. You
Dude,
know.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
crazy.
you hear most kids or most teenagers getting rides into college,
Yeah.
but you got it into high school,
right?
So this
like a boss.
this high school was like special.
Well,
then.
they charge a lot. I didn't trust me, man. I grew up in the southeast.
Right.
You know, I was zoned to Milby. I wasn't trying to go to no out of state, but I got a big sister and she's nosy, and she found a letter in my backpack that said, "Oh, this could be an opportunity. We should fill out we should go see the seminar about it.
Yeah.
And
your parents pushed you into it.
My parents are immigrants. They don't even speak English
well,
yet.
they wanted to see you do something like that.
They were kind of like, well, their school's here, and I don't know if I want to let my baby. I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
But my sister, the evil one, she convinced them. And
Is she the oldest?
Yeah, she's overprotective, man. So the application, I purposely didn't fill it out on time because I didn't want to go. And she's like, hey, whatever happened to that thing? I was like, oh, it says here, date passed. She's like, you know what, let me go ahead and call just to double check. Hey, they said they'll take you. You need to write the essay.
Dude, that sounds like my sister. Shout out to the oldest. Oh,
looking out.
Always looking out. My sister's the oldest and I'm the baby.
Yeah,
you know, and she's always looking out for me. She reminds me of like just different things that I've done, and she's like, how come you don't have this picture up at Break Free of like when you took a photo with this guy?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm sure she's probably like excited about everything that you're doing, man.
In retrospect though, are you glad you went?
Yeah, man, it was a cool experience, man. It got me out of the little bubble that I was in because I didn't really, I didn't have a very diverse upbringing. I didn't have a wide you guys were blessed, through hard work to go out and see the world. Mm-hmm. I didn't know outside of my neighborhood, outside of my side of town. So thankfully, this was my way. Yeah. It's like a movie. This was my way out, eh?
But New Jersey prep school.
Yeah. And then I became Chingo Bling. So I went to college, and it's like, why you go to college to rap, bro? But that was the lane. That was my.
So, on that note, another question is, did you always want to become a personality, or did you always envision yourself doing something else, or was this it?
Man, I don't know. I've always had a wild imagination, so I always looked up to people like Master P and Jay Prince and like independent people in hip. I always loved hip hop, and my initial plan. I remember being in college, and I was like, all right, so they got DJ Clue in New York, okay. I know there's a music distributor in Houston. I'm going to be like the DJ Clue of Houston, and I'm going to go up there and get a deal, and that's how I'm going to be in hip-hop, but conduct business, because I like both,
Yeah.
And, it was a crazy turn of events, and here we are.
That's awesome, man.
So what's the story behind, like, what's your first official, you would say, break into the comedy world? Like, what was the first song you think that, like, puts you on the map, and what's the story behind that? Like, how you...
Okay. There were probably a couple like silly freestyles in the beginning, like ostrich boots or like something else I did. And like I said, back in the day, the kids if any kids watching, they probably don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But back in the day, like when Moy said the internet was young, and we were going through this transition where a certain era was dying out. CDs were dying out. Mom and pop record shops, which used to be plentiful, start shutting down and can't survive. They can't evolve with all this new technology. So thankfully, I rode the wave out of that technology, but thankfully the people discovered what I was doing and started sharing it. And before you knew it, people were hearing about me like far places I never thought I'd ever be. I didn't know there were Mexicans in Wichita, Kansas, and Florida, and all these places. But it's been a long grind, but I'm in a great spot where all that work, has been paying off.
Yeah, man. I think regardless of whatever financial situation anybody could be in, but just the idea of like doing your passion and living off it and traveling the world and seeing other cities, it's a blessing in itself.
Absolutely, man. Because look, adding on to what you said, there are a lot of quote unquote rich people with money that are quote unquote successful, but a lot of times they're not happy. A lot of times they're not healthy. A lot of times like they might have things, but at what cost? The family might not be in the picture anymore because dad was never home. Dad was too busy trying to get it, trying to make it, trying to be good at what you do. So there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with what we do, but I agree 1,000% because people get it twisted. It is not about money. And when it comes to art and things like that, you almost have to tune out money as a variable, because if you focus on the craft and you're good at what you do, everything else is going to fall in place. Bills will get covered, and you probably have left over to donate and give and spread it. But I agree, man, because a lot of times the message that gets put out there on like social media, you have to be careful. There's not everything on social media is real and authentic.
Yeah.
A lot of people are faking the funk.
Yeah.
They're getting sucked into this black hole. It's a big distraction. It's not a shortcut to make it, you know. You have to, like, head down to the grindstone. You have to learn the skill. You have to, like, whatever it may be, there's no way around, like, seeking out mentors. Where do I sign up? Who gives classes on this? Who's been there before? Who can teach me? Where's the book? Where can I practice? And you put all that together, and that's what makes you happy. Being good at something, you know, and being diligent and learning, that's what makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's not all the other stuff, that the pictures.
Yeah,
Right.
Because I would say, from the way I see it, the comedy game or whatever for a young person nowadays, the average person who wants to get into comedy and say they're a teenager, they probably see the route as starting an Instagram account and doing all these crazy stuff on Instagram and trying to get noticed and try to go viral.
Yeah.
That's probably like the way a young person who's trying to get
Yeah.
into comedy sees it nowadays.
Yeah.
But you're gonna fizzle out. Like, how many people you see like that? You might see people who are doing crazy stuff on Instagram with crazy amount of
Yeah,
followers,
yeah.
but longevity wise,
Where does
like
it
comedy
translate
wise,
to?
yeah.
I saw this. I've talked about it before. I saw this funny. I think it's a web series show. I'm not sure what it's called. It's on like Facebook or Watch or something. But I saw a piece of the show where it's like two couples hanging out on a little boat, and they're like, "So, Stacy, so what are you into?" And it's like, "Well, my plan is I'm gonna be an influencer." And they're like, "Oh, like what does that mean?" They're like, "I'm gonna get a lot of followers, like posting cool content." They're like, what do you mean content? It's like, you know, like selfies, cool captions, you know, content. And they're like, but then what? But then what?
Yeah.
Then I'll be a brand ambassador for people, and then this,
All
that.
these words, bro.
Yeah.
These
And-
hot words.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
And then they say, so what's your end goal? It's like, well, I'm gonna, like you said, fizzle out, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
influencer. That word.
Yeah, it's crazy because we
Talking about that
were
last
talking about that last week with Spoiled Latina,
Ah.
and we're just talking about, you know, how there's actual influencers and they're doing their job,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
nowadays everyone's like title on their Instagram profile: entrepreneur,
I always just say-
influencer, brand ambassador,
I always just say,
athlete,
like, what does
artist.
it say on your tax return? It don't say influencer.
Yeah, that's a good
Self-employed.
one.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good. Got him.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's a good one.
But how would you? So your transition into the stand-up comedy scene,
Mhm.
or even just your come up in the comedy scene in general, would you say it's unique? Like, and you're the only one who's done it like that, or like, would it be relatable to somebody trying to come into the scene, like the same come up you did? Like, I know it's foundational hard work, but like your particular, when you started and you're putting it out in the early days of the internet, like, what was your vision? Like, when you put it out, you were just having fun and you hope people would catch on to it? or-
Yes, I was just talking mess, making noise. I used to be into art real big, man, in high school. Like, my art teacher was a big influence of mine. Like, Mr. Trelease, he actually hit me up on Facebook the other day, and I was
Oh,
like,
snap.
dude, I don't know what prep school you teach at now, but I've been trying to hunt you down because I always tell the story about me being a kid from Houston, culture shock, this whole other environment, and I'm in an art class, and this teacher says things like, well, you know, you just have to take artistic license in order to justify your choice and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what's artistic license? And it's like, well, you know, as an artist, you have permission to embellish and bend the rules and create and
Yeah.
express yourself. And I'm like, oh, damn, did you just give me permission to use this crazy thing that I've always had, an imagination, but, you know, I don't want to say school was trying to beat it out of me,
Yeah.
but it was mind-blowing. They're like,
That's crazy.
wait,
He was the one who.
this dude changed your life.
because it's almost like the
Yeah.
hip-hop way, right? Express yourself, you know,
Yeah.
create your
Mhm.
escape. It's
Exactly.
the hip-hop way. That's what's beautiful about hip-hop. And that's what's beautiful about art, but that really kind of set me in motion to when I did create Chingo Bling, and when I was out of college and now I'm in the real world. What you gonna do, buddy?
Yeah.
It's not a dress
Yeah.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
You got your
Oh,
little
yeah.
degree. That's cool. Where's your hustle? What's your idea? How are you an entrepreneur? Where are you bringing value? What's the product? Or do people want to buy it? And but it was all it was fun, and it was experimental, and I was basing it off of feedback. Like, okay, because don't get it twisted. Like, my mom, we were staying off of Edgebrook at that time because, you know, we had moved on up. You know, I was like, you know, I was Woodridge, and I was scared. I'm like, damn, we going from Guffgate to Alameda
Yeah.
Mall? I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, how am I going to cope with all this new responsibility?
Yeah.
Safe side of town.
That's
But
how I
as a
felt.
kid, everything feels like spread out. So she was giving me a hard time. She was kind of like, hey, dude, I don't really see what you're doing, but in the real world, you gotta pay these bills, brother, because they coming in. You got the cell phone.
No doubt.
And I told her, look, I'm getting feedback. Give me a year. And if I can't make it pop off, then we'll do it your way. But I'm gonna totally regret not ever trying, and this is the time to try.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I remember early 2000s, 2000, 2001. I started seeing you on Houston Press and Houston Chronicle. Even heard you on some like mixtapes and all kinds of stuff, man. It was cool. And one of the things that I did want to bring up about that era too is you had a rooster.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, Cleto.
Cleto, yeah, Cleto. R.I.P.
Cleto.
We actually had two.
So I was about to ask you. So he passed away.
Yes, and we replaced him once. Bro. Yeah, we replaced him once.
You had a Cleto lookalike?
Yeah, for the kids, man. The kids, I couldn't bring myself to tell them, like, man, Cleto's a Tupac.
That's like the movies, when you seen the movies when the kid's dog dies and they replace it with a dog and they don't tell the kid and they try to pass it on.
And you know what, man? If there ever was like a selling out chapter, I would have to say that around that time, brother, it was one of those things where my mom had to keep the rooster in the tool shed off of Edgebrook because I was being a big shot with a Mercedes Benz, and I want to live in Green Tea. I want to live in Pearland with, you know what I'm saying?
Cleto wasn't in Pearland?
And he wasn't allowed. What? So I felt like a fraud.
Dog.
I felt like a fraud, bro. Man. I felt like a fraud. I was like, man, I said, look, this is what you're supposed to do, right? This what BET says. You're supposed to have the two-story and the car and this and that.
You chilling in the shed, bro.
I said, mama, you gonna stay out here in the hood with mama. And
Cleto, dog. but Cleto was like your pit bull, bro.
Yeah.
Have you seen everybody had albums at the time, taking pictures with their pit bull? This one had a rooster.
Exactly.
Chilling with some ostrich boots and a Nike check.
I'm glad you peeped the parallel, but like as a symbol, he was very important. I mean, as a pet and a mascot and as a symbol, like he was very significant to us because Cleto number one, the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
I was about to ask you.
Wait, did they look alike? Because that'd be a problem.
Chicken, bro.
Kinda.
Nah,
well, there's different color. Like
I saw Jose. So we have a buddy, Jose, who works for Monster. I saw him post one of his chickens in his backyard because he has chickens.
And you know which one it is?
Dog, no, this chicken looks like a freaking rock star. Like it's all black and it has freaking mohawk. Yeah,
got tattoos.
I'm like, what the hell is that? That's not a chicken.
So is it a rooster or a chicken?
No, I think it's a chicken.
Oh, okay.
But Jeremy's half white. He doesn't really know about chickens and roosters.
The second Cleto was not like the first Cleto at all.
Yeah. Well, no. I think they were the same, like little breed and stuff.
No, but like his spirit, the second one.
Oh, see, now you're getting all spiritual, dog. I was talking about his look. Did he look like him?
The spirit of Cleto. Bro.
No, that's spirit of Cleto lives on. So
peace, Cleto.
Answer your question. He had big shoes to fill, but he did it his way.
Wait, Cleto had shoes?
In a way, he had a role to play, man, and but he was Cleto number one was super smart. They were both smart, but the funny thing the first one would do is off of Edgebrook, my dad had the TV like in the back room, and there's like a screen and like a glass back door type of thing.
Yeah.
And when the sun was going down, and he was like, he'd come and tap on the thing. My dad would be watching TV. He's like, open up the shed, bro. Look, come on, man. The door to the shed is closed. It's getting dark. You want these dogs to get me? So my dad would have to get up and, oh, my bad, Cleto. Open it up, and he'd jump up in his little area.
Funny story, though. When I was a kid, the Pearland Flea Market, Coles Flea Market? Yeah. I went out there when I was a kid, and they had these games, and I won a little baby chicken, right? He was blue.
A live chicken.
He was blue. I won him. I threw like a little ball, and it landed in a little cup, and they gave me a little baby chick, dude. And he was blue. So, I grew up in Magnolia, so we let him just kind of grow up inside the house.
And he stayed blue?
No. He grew up to be a white rooster, dog. And so the white rooster was like our dog.
Yeah.
And this fool ate all the roaches in the house.
Awesome.
So he grew up real healthy.
Yeah. What happened to
all
him?
that's straight protein.
Hold on. Like, he became like a guard dog, right? Our rooster became like a guard dog. Man, I don't even remember his name. But check this out. Anytime anybody came over, they would be chased by our rooster.
His name was Debo.
Like the mailman, we had to meet him on the sidewalk because he didn't want to come up because he knew the
my
rooster
God,
was going to
bro.
chase him.
Damn.
And then one day,
So what happened?
sure enough, like 4 years later, I saw him in the back. Man, he was getting chewed up by a dog.
Dogs, bro. That's what got Cleto number
The
two.
natural,
Rest
the
in peace to
natural
my
enemy
rooster.
of the.
Yeah.
Anybody that grew up with me, they know my white rooster.
So what happened to Clifton number 1?
Well,
You didn't eat him, did you?
the first one, the first one was.
Don't lie, bro. You ate him.
Well, the first one he survived. He went through a dog attack, and my mom rushed him to the vet, bro. And kids was outside. Cleto!
He lived through a dog.
It was
attack.
like a scene in Menace to Society. She's hauling.
Oh.
He's in the back seat. Don't you down me, Cleto? You know.
Oh my God.
But my mom, yeah, she really held it down. I was out there busy, but
Pearland,
it
living
was
it
kind of
up,
like
the
we good,
Mercedes.
yeah, like a little
How
sellout.
could you sleep at night, bro?
I know it's like a little sellout, man. And trust me, that was a dark period, and I had to learn. You
live in
realize,
Pearland
hey,
now.
life's gonna teach you. The universe is gonna school you and let you know, hey, man, it ain't about all that.
So what
That's
did we
crazy.
learn? Look out for your kletos.
Well, I'm starting to feel bad because I just moved to Pearland.
So you got a kleto that's staying in the shed right now,
I just
metaphorically.
bought a house in Pearland, bro.
No,
You're
it's
making
good
me
to
feel
have.
real bad.
No, it's good to have things, man. Hey, me and my wife, we just bought a rental in Katy. We invested in a little spot in Katy.
For Airbnb?
Actually, yesterday. We rented it today out to a family.
Oh, out to
That's
Yeah,
dope.
so we a couple days ago we got it. All the paperwork was finalized, and then we put it up on Zillow, like this app
Yeah.
thing. And then boom, today she went and handed them the keys and did all the stuff. But anyway, what I want to say is this: it's good to have stuff, and it's good to make sure
Yeah,
your
you work
family's-
hard for it.
your family's taken care of. It's just a matter of always knowing the difference between, hey man, at the end of the day, both feet on the ground, we're humble, it's family
Amen.
first. Like I said in the beginning, family first, bro.
Right.
My family comes first.
Kleto wasn't family.
Eh,
What are you talking about, bro?
I'm trying to tell you,
You let him stay in the shed.
I turned a
Keep
new
talking about that,
leaf.
you're gonna get stabbed afterwards.
I
Chingo
turned
Bling
a
got
new
like 4
leaf,
Mexicans
man.
outside the door.
I got an entourage, man. Come on.
Chill, but you
rest
think
in
he's gonna
peace,
show up by
Kleto.
himself?
I
He's a
just-
famous comedian right here, bro.
Rest in peace,
Like
Kleto,
8 of
bro.
them.
R.I.P. Kleto,
R.I.P.
man.
Well, look out for your kletos.
R.I.P. Kleto. Yeah, that's the
man.
moral.
But speaking of family, you just had a little baby girl, man.
Don't forget your Kletos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, man. She's 7 months. She
Hey,
turned 7 months yesterday.
7 months yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank you.
What's her name?
Penelope Valentina. So.
Nice.
Wow.
Penny
I have a
V.
daughter- I have a daughter. Her name's Jane Valentine.
Oh, nice.
That's
okay.
like the white version
The
of
V.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janie V and Penny V.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, what's up?
Valentine.
They're gonna kill it.
That's
in the
what's
future.
up, man.
Yeah.
How has that transition been? Because having a little one, you have. I know you got to go out there and kill it and make your bread, but at the same time, it's hard to leave the baby.
Well, you know what, man?
Unless you bring everybody on the road with you.
We've done that a couple times. It gets hectic. To answer your question, man, like when I had Mickey, that was 10 years ago. So I was just in a different mind frame. So now, obviously, as you get older, you learn how to slow down and pace yourself.
Let it marinate.
It's about like managing your energy at this
Yep.
point.
Yeah,
like
straight up.
I can't do photo shoots on roofs, brother, because I can't even.
You see?
I can't even roller skate. Because if I fall down, I'm not getting up. These knees ain't what they used to be. But long story short, to answer your question, man, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's like you're tired. It's like team no sleep. But I'm wise enough to be super present when I'm with her and making sure we do family stuff. And Mickey loves being a big sister. She's all about Penny. Like when if she's at her mom's, we'll FaceTime, and you just see it'll say Michaela did a screenshot. So she's a screenshotting the little convo.
Yeah.
But it's dope, man. I love it, and we want to have a third one. We want to have another one.
Damn, good luck, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's good. Man.
Shout out to Mickey too, man. Mickey,
DJ Mickey Rose.
DJ Mickey,
Mickey
bro.
was
She
a
was a
killer,
student
bro.
here, and she was nasty. She was dope at everything she did.
Brr, brr,
man.
brr.
That's right. So shout out Mickey, big girl DJ Mickey.
Yo, man, but you talked about like right now, just listening to you about like buying a rental property and doing that. I think for me that is one of the best things I like to hear from artists and celebrities and personalities that are doing something else and other than living this lavish life, that they're actually investing into the future of their lives and their kids' lives. Because I come from a very traditional Mexican family.
Yeah.
When my parents passed away, there was really nothing left. And but they left a strong legacy.
Yes.
We've learned a lot, and they taught us a lot, and how to be great people, and so on. I can't never repay my parents back in so many different ways. But one thing is that growing up in a very traditional family, we grew up just to work really hard at what we do, but we don't never like learn about investing or leaving something for our kids that is going to set them up for, 20, 30 years down the road. So hearing you say that, man, I think that, you're making very smart decisions. And I think that more people like ourselves, artists that are living off our passion, to really need to focus our energy on creating things like that are going to be worthwhile for our families. It's tough,
And I look at it like, not to get too like spiritual or nothing, but I look at it like, because I know how to separate material things from what's real, I look at it kind of like I'm just managing these blessings. I'm just kind of being a steward of what I got to work with. Yep. And it's and not in a what's the word? Not in a evil, greedy type of way. Like, yes, what are we gonna do now? Hoarding. It's more like, hey, this is our responsibility, and we gotta give back, and we gotta be smart, and we appreciate pillar of the community. Yeah, because I appreciate the opportunity of being a stand-up, learning. I love the craft and being able to go different places and travel and get love, and make people feel good.
So speaking on that, I know you talked about a little bit before we went live, but what do you got coming up next? I know you got in Texas, right, next year?
Yeah,
next month.
Yeah. So we got some Texas dates coming up, but we're on nationwide tour. If you go to chingobling.com, you can get tickets and info. Latino AF tour, and we have a big I'm gonna announce it here first, because I was gonna keep it under my hat. I was gonna keep it under my hat. We're kicking off my annual Chingo de Mayo festival. That's right, so it's gonna grow into a festival, but this year, May 5th, Chingo de Mayo, I'm gonna announce the acts and the venue soon, but we're gonna start with a party. Maybe next year it'll be like a block party, and just let it grow, so that 5-10 years from now, dope. It just snowballs.
Yeah, dope. Man, that's awesome, man. Congrats on that.
For sure, thank you.
Yeah, man, so make that happen.
What year does May 5th? When does May 5th land on? Valentine's.
Cinco de Mayo. That's a nice little ring to it right there. Yeah. Hey, going back to Cleto real quick, because something just crossed my mind.
R.I.P.
Was Cleto's last name Bling?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man. Yeah. If you think about it, if you think about it. Yeah. But that fool was at car shows. He was at Reliant.
I saw Cleto taking pics with like girls, like doing photo shoots. He was doing photo shoots on rooftops with females.
Damn, man. Thank God you were okay, brother. Because that was scary. I saw the video footage on your thing. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, man. But it was humbling to say.
Low key, you started rewinding it back and forth, like you started doing boomerang, right?
They did the edit.
You submitted it to World Star, low key.
They put a beat behind.
Low key, little boomerang, just back and forth. I did.
There's nothing that can humble you like almost dying. You know what I'm saying? So everything happens for a reason. Though,
puts things in perspective.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I appreciate that, man. Good looking out. So don't go photo shoots on roofs.
Nah, man.
You can do the photo shoot on rooftops. You just don't step on skylights.
No, just avoid the roofs in general.
I seriously was like wondering, because I'm not gonna say I did a little bit of construction, but the Minute Maid, right? When they were building Minute Maid, my brother-in-law, he was a safety manager up there while they were building it, and I was on summer break. I can't remember if it was college or high school. Might have been college, but he's like, hey man, if you need a summer job, like they got a cleanup crew, independent subcontractor. So it was basically like ex-con dudes like that were in the halfway house and me, like the college boy, because that's who happened to get hired on the cleanup crew. But some people got hurt up there, man. So when I saw your footage,
like instantly, scaffolds or something.
Yeah, instantly I went back to like. I think what happened at Minute Maid was there was like a like if you Google it, it'll come up. But I think there was like a hole and it was covered or something. They put the caution tape or something. Somehow, some way, a gentleman went through there.
Wow.
And he didn't have the same outcome.
Yeah. I used to work construction too. I used to be like a scaffold passer, passing material.
Dude, I met your dad before, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Every time I see Jeremy, I'm always like, man, how's your dad doing?
Yeah,
man?
Shout out Papa Pena, man.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
I think. If my memory's not great, but I think my dad was either selling cars somewhere or he was buying a car, and I think your dad was working at a similar dealership.
Like auction.
Yeah.
Or it was like an auction.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I think he came by the house for something. He's like, hey, you know, mijo, he's bad. He does breakdancing.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes everywhere, man. Now, mira, Asia.
YouTube,
Watch
yeah.
it,
Shout out on YouTube.
yeah, that's him. I'm like, dang.
He
I
works
remember
right off Spencer.
when I pulled up to the hospital, so I pulled up right when Jeremy went to the hospital. I pulled up and he was finding parking, and I go up and I said, "You want me to?" I was gonna give him my parking spot. He's like, "No, I'll just park over here." And he looks at me, he goes, "Bitch, you been down."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, dude.
The OG, man, he knows. He already knew.
It's like,
I had no
yeah.
business being up there, you know. But
Dog,
shout out to him. He's the best.
Shout out to Papa Pena, man.
Papa Pena. That's crazy. My dad knows Chingo Bling.
That's tight.
Yeah, dude.
He probably bought Chingo Bling's Mercedes.
Something.
He probably knew Cleto too. He's gonna be mad when he figure out.
R.I.P.
Damn, Cleto, bro.
R.I.P. man.
But yeah, man, yo,
the
appreciate
G.
you coming, bro.
Yeah, brother.
It's been dope, man. But now I think it's time MVP.
Time for the
Uh-oh.
part of
What
the
I
show,
do-
baby.
what am I doing?
It's time for Where You At, though.
Yes, sir. You know the deal. So in front of our blue screen,
Yup.
we've picked 3 spots that may or may not relate to you. So similar to charades, we're gonna be giving you clues.
It may or may not
May
relate.
or may not relate to you. You know.
But check this out. Out of 17 episodes, this is 17th episode, there's only been one other person, man, that did not get
No pressure.
all of them right. I think he missed one.
You missed one.
But then again, Jeremy gave him some type of equation that Einstein couldn't answer. So,
But yeah, the people watching live can see it. You won't be able to see it, and then once you guess, you'll be able to see it, and it'll be revealed. All right. All right. So this first one, okay, it's somewhere delicious.
I'm in ice cream sundae.
Ice cream sundae. Oh, that's a good first guess.
Hey.
You get 3 guesses, all right? You get 3
Okay,
guesses.
is it savory or sweet? Am I on pizza?
It's savory.
it's savory.
Savory.
It's savory.
So it's not a dessert.
Somewhere corny. It's somewhere very corny.
Corn in the cup.
Nope.
Refresqueria.
That's all right. That's number 2. You got one more guess,
Wait,
bro.
hold on.
Wait,
You're
yeah,
a
don't
big
give it up.
fan.
You're a big fan of it. You're the king of this,
Corn,
actually.
tamales.
Yeah.
Ghost riding tamales.
You're inside of tamale. Look at that.
I'm
Look at that.
This is how I want to go out.
That last one gave it away.
Savory
Yeah,
king.
he got it.
Tamale king.
You one of one, dog. Good job.
Tamale kingpin right
Inside
there.
of a tamale. At first, we were like, we're going to put him next to a tamale cart. And I'm like, nah, we're going to put him in a tamale.
We're going to go. We're going to do it big.
What's up? Next one.
Next one, you're on a stage. Somewhere specific, okay? So somewhere specific is in Houston.
Oh, it's in Houston.
Yeah, somewhere you might have been before. Somewhere you can make money at.
Man, okay. Stay
You
with
killed
me.
it right here,
Could
bro.
be considered legendary.
Is this a PG-13 answer, or what kind of stage is we
You
talking
can answer it however you want to answer. You can answer it however.
You didn't tell that story, though.
Wait. Stage.
Legendary.
Okay. Is this like a venue where people see like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
House of Blues?
No,
No,
you,
not
you-
House of Blues. That's number 1.
This is
you got
your
2 more
world,
guesses.
man.
Yeah,
T-Town
Your world. Hold on. You're going way back. You're going way
I'm
back.
dating
son.
myself. Okay, man, I'm running out of answers.
You got one more guess.
This is your world,
I
bro.
need a hint. My world.
This
stage?
is your world.
Oh, improv.
Yeah, improv
Hey.
Houston. Let's pull it up. Let's see.
I need a preview.
There he is, right there.
I'm actually gonna be out there in August. Check me out.
Yes,
that
sir.
Weekend.
Shout out
Dang.
to Improv Houston.
So you got it right on the last guess on both ones. 2 of 2.
2 of 2.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Alright.
You moving quick though, dog. You talk fast, slow down. Talking about
I think I'm
T-Town,
gonna be in time.
Hullabaloos.
Last one, all right? MVP, let us know. Hullabaloo, Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Over there for Highway 3.
Damn. I don't know what y'all talking about. at all.
Yeah, he wouldn't know this.
Roxy? This is the third one up, MVP? All right. Third one, last and final
This
one.
is a
Remember,
good
you
one.
got, yeah, this is a good one.
This is a good one.
So you're somewhere underground. This is somewhere underground.
El Chapo's Tunnel.
Damn, that would have been a good one.
That
Nope.
would have been good. Hold on, slow
You got
down.
2 more.
Chico.
You got
Li-
2 more.
Under
listen-
the border wall. No.
Listen,
No,
listen,
damn.
listen to the
That's
clues.
a good one, too.
Okay, my bad.
Listen to the clues.
You got one more guess, bro. We only gave you one
I'm saving
clue.
my guesses. I'm saving
All
my
right, this is somewhere
I like that.
prosperous.
guesses.
Somewhere
prosperous.
somewhere where you need access to go, like general public can't
You're
go
not
there.
underground though.
Yeah,
It's
sometimes
not always
It's an
underground.
old timey one. This is an old classic one.
But it's not always underground.
This one is underground. I'm the one who curated
You can put
this,
money
bro.
in it.
I curated this, bro. He's underground.
It's prosperous.
You're a man of money, dog.
Yeah.
Where you? I mean, you go.
Well, I mean, I know places with money like bank vaults and like
Ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
Feria.
That's what I'm saying. This
The
guy.
old time, it's a classic one, you know,
Hey,
like where Al Capone,
You're
Al Capone
talking
used
to a
to,
freaking little Bill Gates of.
Al Capone used to have underground bank vaults. You and Al Capone's underground bank vault.
And that's very specific,
Like,
sir.
that's why.
See what I mean? That's what he did to Doughman. He couldn't guess.
He got
City
it right
Hall.
though. Make some noise.
He put Doughman at City Hall.
Look at the gold bars. If that's an underground, they don't keep gold bars.
Look at all the
anywhere.
bling. Chingo blings back there, dog.
Make some
Well,
noise.
you got all three. Where you at though?
Make some
Shout
noise,
out to
make some
Chingo.
noise. Good job. You win a free monster.
Hey,
You get.
good.
And some free break free create your escape products.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yeah, okay. I like it.
You can come join
Yeah,
us
man.
back on set.
You can join us back on set,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You killed that,
Never
bro.
did this before, man.
That was awesome. Hey, how was it tamale ride? Like,
That was fun, man. It
Being
got a
in
little
the tamale.
slippery, you know.
What's your
towards the
favorite
middle.
tamale? I don't know. Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with like the old school traditional pork.
pork.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spicy or not spicy?
I'm gonna go with the beans.
Semi-spicy. Oh, you like the straight beans?
Man, the beans with some jalapenos. In
Jalapeno.
it. Ooh.
La raja.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever
the-
been
the
sponsored
pork
by a
is
tamale?
No, but no.
Man, it makes
no,
sense.
but I'll mess around. Get
Have
back
you ever sold
make that-
tamales?
Yes. I'll mess around. Get back in the game. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I heard a
Absolutely.
story. I don't know if this is true or not, but
Perhaps.
I heard a story that in Mexico you had like a line of hot sauces and
It wasn't in Mexico. We did a few times we got with the hot sauce. We did like some private label stuff. One of the times I did it with like an album. So
Okay.
when we sent a package to radio stations, we were being creative. And in the packet, I think we threw in like a hot sauce that had like an album date and stuff. Or
that's
something
dope.
promotional.
That's
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah, something
Well,
promotional.
the story I got was like, man, Chingo Bling's rich as hell. He got hot sauces all over Mexico.
Yeah,
and
no,
I'm like,
I
damn, I haven't
wish.
tasted this. Where's
I
it at?
wish.
Low key. Yeah.
Is it at Mi Tienda?
I wish. Nah, that'd be dope. But
Tapatio. You're behind Tapatio.
That's next up, baby.
yeah, I'm just
That's
putting
next up.
a new label on
You
top of
buy-
it.
The Chingo sauce.
Yeah.
Dang.
Chingo tu madre.
Yo.
Sorry for that one.
The
I
sauce.
just felt like it was right.
That's a Spanish. I
It,
know.
it rolls off the tongue,
That's
you
a
know.
Spanish I know right there. That's
Yeah,
what-
with my name,
I
there's
was
so
talking
many.
about hot sauce, like a, you know, it's too hot. It's gonna slap your mama.
He was just
type
giving
of
me
hot sauce.
aliases, like
Yeah.
you know,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Chingo de Bling,
Yeah.
you know.
Damn, man. Well, that's what's up, man. Thanks for coming, bro. It's
Cool,
been dope.
brother.
Yeah, man.
Been dope.
Cool,
Appreciate
brother.
that.
Thank you, guys.
We
Thank
always
you, bro.
we always ask our guests the last parting message, like for the youth out there,
Uh-huh.
upcoming comedian, upcoming
Yeah.
Latino in Houston that's coming up, wants to be their own boss, entrepreneur. What would be some advice you think you would give?
Some advice I would give, man. That was a broad question there, sir.
Yeah.
You know, business, art, life. One thing I would advise, man, is like once you kind of really find your passion and you kind of dive in and start navigating and trying to figure it out, is find a mentor. Stuff like discard what you don't, you know, keep what's your own, add your own sauce to it. But I think that's that, man.
It falls in line with humility. Like,
Exactly,
Yeah.
because you got to be coachable. You got
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
years.
That's
Come on.
great, man. Because especially in hip hop, you always hear, "I did it on my own." You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people.
Everybody did it on their own.
A lot of
right?
a lot of people want to be like, "I'm gonna do it on my own" and not ask for help.
And
But,
then it's the blind leading the blind.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
you're spinning your wheels, wondering why you're not advancing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good, man.
Well, yo,
Sauce.
man, thank you for everything. See, everything's sauce.
Yeah.
Everything's
with the
sauce.
sauce.
Sauce
So,
or sauce.
What we learned today, I'm gonna say, is don't leave your kletos behind.
Don't forget your
Shout out
kletos,
to
man.
Cleto, man.
Rest in peace,
Your
Kleto.
day ones.
Cleto
Yes,
number
sir.
one, though. Not Cleto number two. We can't shout him out,
He
bro.
had big shoes to fill, man.
Like, Cleto number two, it doesn't really count.
Still want to see these chicken shoes that you're talking about. I want to see what the extra.
Oh,
You should have brought the. Do you still? I know we're about to end the show, but you still got those boots?
I gave away a bunch. I have
You
a
should've
several
put it on
pair.
eBay, bro.
Honestly, bro, like to be perfectly real with you, man. Sometimes when people try to box you in, like, oh, we have you figured out, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
just
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I was almost like rebelling
Of
in a
course,
way.
yeah.
I started getting burnt out.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
do.
And yeah, you gotta keep it fresh. So it just got to the point where I was like, I did that already. It was cool when I first came up
So
with
now,
it.
now you got some Balenciaga.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say I'm selling out. I don't want to say I'm selling out again, but you know,
Balenciagas.
you'd be surprised, man. You go to Cole's Flea Market in Paradise, you'd be surprised what you could find.
Balenciaga.
Yeah, if you zoom in.
It's a P, not a B.
Yeah, Valencia.
Yo, man, but thank you for
Yes,
being
sir.
on the show, bro. You
Thank you
killed
guys,
it, man.
man.
Appreciate
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you guys.
Yes, sir. Shout out to our sponsor, Monster Energy. Check out this quick commercial from Houston Media Source. Tune in next Tuesday, 6 p.m. live. And much love to everybody out there.
Yup.
Thank you. Peace. See you soon.
Have you ever wanted to have your own TV show? We can make that happen at Houston Media Source. When you walk in the door, all you need is an idea. We have everything you need. Studios, cameras, lights, microphones, and more. All professional quality and state-of-the-art. Get started by attending one of our free orientation sessions every Monday at 6 p.m. at our studios at 410 Roberts near Minute Maid Park. Get more information online at hmstv.org. Make your voice heard with Houston Media Source.